Good afternoon. My name is Ronald Bird, and this is another edition of Style Speaks. We're here in downtown Silver Spring on this cold but yet sunny, glorious afternoon. I have a really special guest for my very first edition of the season. Actually, this is 2014, and this is my very first. He should be really proud of that. Very first guest of 2014. He was like, okay, whatever. 2014, the one and only Mr. Calico. Calico, how you doing, sir?
Thank you for having me. It's pretty good.
All right. Thanks for coming out in the cold. It's not too bad. It didn't turn out to be too bad today.
It actually feels pretty good.
You know, I was telling folks, dress warm. We're going to be doing this outside. We're not going to be indoors or whatever. And I thought I was going to get some cancellations, but, you know, folks are showing up. So that's a good thing. Well, I'm glad that you came out and talked to me today. Tell me, what's up with the name? Tell me about the Calico. Is that your birth? You know, I'm going to hit you from the side with this. He was like, okay, you're going to ask me what my real name is.
No, that's okay. It's okay, actually.
Tell us the definition with the Calico.
Okay. Here's the Calico. The first three letters in my first name are C-A-L.
Yes.
So I guess when I was about 15 or so, you know, I had a few buddies that would walk down the street and say Calico. Yeah, they just said Calico at one point. So I said, you know, I just said I'll stick with that name.
They just said Calico?
Well, Calico is the name of the weapon. You know, Calico is the name of the weapon. And I was doing rap music, and I said that's basically fitting for that name because of the way that I rhyme, basically. So.
Okay. Not the necessarily association with the guns. Should I be nervous standing here?
No, you have a lot of musicians that have certain names, but it really has nothing to do. I mean, because a musician is just an entertainer at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
And that's what a lot of people fail to realize. Like, you can't put a musician and a killer or somebody out in the street in the same boat. Like, a musician goes into the studio, it actually takes time, it takes art, it takes thought, it's poetry over music. And when these beat makers sit and compose these beats, like, you have to know these machines, and you have to know how to rhyme, and you have to be able to create these stories to get this inspiration from somewhere. So, you know, so I was just never that type of guy.
Did you actually say what your first name is?
No, I didn't say what the first name is. I just try to.
Are you trying not to say what
I'm trying not to say some stuff I just don't say.
I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss something. And it's okay. I'm not gonna harp on that.
No, I mean, but it works both ways though. Because when people call me my actual name, they say Cal. When people call
me obviously Cal is a part of your
right. And when they say Calico, they just say Cal. So either way, you know, I know that they're talking about. They say the cow, the music name, or the, you know, sometimes they don't even say cow, they just say a cow.
Okay. All right. Okay, we got it.
The people that don't know the real names, they'll just say cow.
I see.
The people that only know Calico. Does that make sense?
It makes sense.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna harp on that no more. I'm gonna just call you Calico. It's all good. I just thought I'd get the history behind that. Because I want to know who the man is.
Yeah, it was a simple history, and the thing is, you know, I had it since I was like I said, 15. And I was just doing music, and I just said, that's a pretty good name. You know, a lot of people went through, you know, they go through 2, 3, 4 artist names.
Right.
I just said, that one stuck.
And that one stuck.
That one stuck, and that was it.
Well, I'm glad that one stuck because that's how I found you, by that name. Well, while we're talking about you mentioned the whole rap and the whole musician. I know you're a musician, you rap, and well, I mean, would you clarify yourself as a rap artist or a hip hop artist, or is that kind of combined right now? I mean, how do you define that?
I would prefer to say, if I had to choose between the two, I would say hip hop artist. Okay. But if I had to choose overall,
that's more marketable, right?
Yeah.
Sort of, right? I know that.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I think a rap artist tells more stories.
Right.
And it, like, let's say, you know, everyone uses this, it's probably cliche, but rap is more like pop. And a hip-hop artist is more like Biggie.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense?
Well, it makes sense. I never heard it, you know, defined that way, but I mean, I guess so.
Let's say, rap is more like Ice Cube and hip hop is more like Eminem.
Or Jay-Z.
Or Jay-Z.
Okay,
exactly.
okay, I got
so
you.
one tells like more of the street stories, or just more of the stories that you can like visualize.
Okay.
And one plays with words, I think.
Okay.
So I'm more like a lyricist as opposed to a, you know, unfortunately I don't have too many. I had a lot of, I guess I seen stuff that the average person seeing or saw, but I don't have as many street stories.
Okay.
Or even if I did, I wouldn't really want to sing.
Okay, I got you. Right,
you
and put music to it. I got you. Well, in keeping with all that, and this is obviously a conversation about style and fashion, and we need to stick on that. You're looking kind of sharp today.
Thank you, sir. You do too.
Well, thank you very much. But it's about you, not about me, and don't pay it down. But anyway, no. Basically, you know, I think the persona of a hip hop artist and a rap artist today, you know, it's a lot of grunge, you know, that whatever the hip hop flavor. And I noticed in a lot of your portfolio, a lot of your pictures online, whether it be your website, Facebook page, or whatever, you kind of present a certain look, a certain style, kind of typical of a hip hop artist, if you will. So, how would you define your look, your style, and is that just kind of you, or do you necessarily present a look to match the title? How much of it is really you, and how much of it is a presentation?
Well, all of it is actually me. That's a good question too.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, I don't try to, you know, look like a hip hop artist,
because I think there's obviously people out there who do, right?
They
have to kind of market themselves and look like the old gold chain and all that.
Exactly.
Okay.
And that's just not my style. Like a lot of jewelry and everything like that. And you're absolutely right. I think there are some people who are just themselves, and it just so happens that they dress like what a hip hop artist would look like. And then there are people who probably never dressed like that before, who are probably from the suburbs, but they think that this is what a hip hop artist is supposed to look like.
Got you.
Me, I was just always, this sounds cliche, but I was always comfortable in my own skin.
Yeah, I get that.
And people just so happen to like the way I dress. You know, when I dress, I don't go in and get the expensive stuff. I just go and get things that I think look good on me, and stuff that fits well on me. And people, you know, would always compliment me on that because it was more of a mature look. It was a clean look.
Very classic.
And
very clean.
it's not so coming at you and not so threatening.
Okay.
And I'll tell you, this is a funny story, or you know, I've had stories like this. One day I was just downtown, and I was just I think I was around Florida Avenue. I was just taking a few pictures with my camera and everything. And it was a white lady. She was walking around with her husband, but she was a photography student. You know, she was an older white lady. She said, "Oh, you look nice. You look photographic. I mean, yeah, photogenic." Sorry, not photographic. But she said, "Can I take a picture of you?" I said, "Me? I said, "I don't think so. I don't think I look photogenic." She said, "Sure you do."
But that wasn't your observation to make. It was her observation.
It was her observation to make. But my point.
I do that to people too. They're like, "Well, I don't." I'm like, "Well, I didn't ask you what you thought of."
Exactly.
You know, obviously, if I think so, well, anyway, go ahead.
And you know,
take the compliment. Say yes or no, and keep it moving.
Quiet, right? But you know why I say that? This is why I say that. You're absolutely right. But it's different for me because, to me, I'm looking like a hip hop artist.
Right.
So and the thing is, I specifically used white because it was just kind of funny.
Okay, I see. You thought it was like a stereotype.
Yeah, I thought to people, I probably, you know, when you see some people, they look kind of threatening. Right. But I was always clean cut, and I was just not one of those.
So it wasn't really. It wasn't really taken as a compliment per se. It was like you're kind of judging me. You're
No. It was a compliment.
Okay.
My thing was, my image in general is not one of those images that when I go and come inside your house, you have to run. Okay. But there are hip hop artists who have that stereotypical image, you know, and stuff like that.
Okay, well, it's interesting that you say that too, because I wanted to touch on this because I did mention this to you earlier, because all of your photographs you have like the headgear on, and I asked you a question. I think you maybe have slipped one photograph in your gallery that didn't have it, and I went back to you, and I think I mentioned it to you. I say, I guess he probably went back and deleted it because when I went back, I couldn't find it. So he's like, oh, I don't know how that one got slipped up in there. But every photograph you have, and then I don't know, like I know back in the day they used to call them do-rags, and I don't know what the politically correct term for it is now. Don't want to offend.
No.
But what is the whole significance with that? And I think that has a lot to do with the whole persona too. I think because back in the day, LL Cool J, definitely the old school hip hop artists. I mean, guys still wear them. Yeah. But I mean, I think it's become a part of your persona, if you will. Yeah, talk about that real quick.
Definitely has. I'll tell you.
Keep an eye on that bag right there. Make sure noise.
I will. Definitely. I'll tell you why. Here's the thing. When people ask about this, let's say every article of clothing, let's say anything that you put on your,
you can look at the camera too and talk
anything
to them. They want to hear you. They want to see you.
Anything that you put on you, anything that you put on your person, I guess it's to enhance your presentation.
Okay.
So let's say these things, just like lipstick, just like razor blades, they're all sold in the beauty supply store. Do you understand what I mean?
Okay.
So these things are obviously to enhance your presentation.
Okay.
No matter what it is.
Okay.
Now, so I went into the beauty supply store a few days ago with this off. And the woman
with
said,
it off?
With it off.
Oh, yeah?
Because a lady said, it was the cashier, she said, oh, you have nice waves, can I touch your hair? And she touched my hair, she said, you must have been doing that for a long time because it takes, and that's basically what it is.
It's
just like anything, like I like to keep myself up. Okay. You see what I mean? And I think sometimes I do get kind of lazy and I just keep this on. And it's just like, I'm not going anywhere.
Well, I totally would not have guessed that was going to be your answer.
Yep.
Because if that is the case, and you got such smooth waves and all that pretty hair and all that, people want to touch it. Well, why won't you be photographed? Literally every picture in his gallery has this on. So I'm thinking either he's trying to hide something, that's something. Right. Either he ain't got no eyebrows, or he's something going on up here, whatever. So I don't know if it's become a sensitive topic, or I didn't want to offend you when I did ask you, and you handle it very elegantly and professionally and all that. So, but I didn't really think that was going to be your response. So you're like, I ain't got no issues with my head. Obviously my head's tight, whatever. But you just keep it on, and you're actually photographed in nothing but it. So,
and I'll tell you.
Why don't you get a little?
Well, here's the thing. The photographs.
Eclectic with the photographs, there, young fella.
Well, the photographs you saw were. With it off, were actually from.
It was only one, and like I said, I think he went up and took it down.
Yeah, I think here's how that happened. He posted 2. Now these were actually from the club.
Okay.
So when people want to take club photos, and what they do is tag me right on the. The thing is, when it's music, let's say this. A while ago, I used to own a music studio.
Okay.
So when people would come in, it just so happened I had this on because I was just in the studio comfortable, and they had gotten so used to seeing me with it that seeing me without it, I walked up to people without it. What's going on, man?
Oh, they even recognize you. Okay.
Yeah, and I actually did it, and it's just that's all.
So you just really kind of adapted, and I guess the short story, although we took the long route, the short of it is that it's just really become a part of your makeup. It's your persona now. So it's just an accessory. So it's not to hide, cover up, keep out, and all that kind of nonsense.
Just an accessory like your hat.
Okay.
And people actually, when they see me sometimes, they say, "Oh, I like that." I was with my buddy in the McDonald's. Woman said, "Oh, I like that." It's just an accessory.
All right. Well, that's really cool. I'm really kind of glad we got the whole
that out of the way.
Because you like, Ronald, you've been really wanting to ask me that question.
No, a lot of people ask that. They say, "Are you bald under there?"
Right.
I mean, that's why when I mentioned to you, it's a conversation piece, because if I'm with the female or something, she'll say, "What's your hair?"
Right.
And then they say, "Can you take it off?" And say,
right.
It's just regular.
Okay. Well, you definitely answered that. Well, the whole. What are your feelings on and keeping with the whole style and fashion conversation, I mean, you have a business side, you kind of do some more professional things, and you have the artistry of being a musician side. So this is pretty much a very everyday kind of relaxed look. You know, you have a nice physique. You can probably wear anything. I've never seen you. I mean, how eclectic are you with your wardrobe? Do you find that it's important to be diverse in style and fashion, and to bring it all home, what is your perception of Washington, D.C. as it relates to style and fashion in comparison to some of the other major cities? Are you seeing good things? Are you seeing kind of sort of a microcosm of just kind of one look, or what's your thoughts on that?
That's a good question. My thing is, on days like this, I'm pretty comfortable. I would say I have more in general, overall, even if it's a casual day, I have more of a mature, clean look.
Okay.
Like I don't wear my pants sagging or the big. I'm just a guy, you know, who will walk into your house and no matter what I would have on, you say, he seems like a decent guy.
Okay.
You know, he's not one
clothes,
of those.
where I'm getting, so clothes matter, how you present yourself. You're very clean and neat. Everything's like nicely steamed and pressed and all that. So obviously, clothes matter and your appearance matters to you. Is that what I'm getting from you, Mr. Calico?
That's 200% correct.
Okay.
I'll tell you, when you say clothes matter, clean clothes matter. That's why I say that. I would say that. This is why I say, because sometimes you see people, you know,
meaning not funky, stinky clothes.
Yeah, you know, when you see exactly when you say, I think you don't have to spend a lot on clothes.
Right.
But you know, you would want to keep up with your presentation.
Oh,
you know, some people come outside with the same thing. So my thing is, I can go to Marshalls or something and pick up something on sale, and just the way I put it together, it looks pretty nice.
Well, everybody doesn't have that knack. Everybody can't do that. That's why they think they have to get the labels, and that you think that I know how to dress because I got Burberry's and I got Gucci and all of that. So it takes a certain flair and attitude. Well, I mean, that is amazing. I really enjoyed that piece of the conversation, because I really learned a lot about how you think and because it's very interesting. I interview people who do a very eclectic array of professions, and when I interview musicians, it's usually kind of standard, and but when people tend to have different visions, I think it's really interesting. Well, tell us a little bit, we're going to close this up, tell us a little bit about what you do. You know, you want to talk a little bit about the music and where to find you, and any other things you got going on in the pipes. Maybe you might not want to mention that or save that for another day, but you know, let us find out how to get to you and what you're working on.
I definitely will, but you know what? You just had one more question at the end that I thought was really important to answer. Would you like me to answer that?
Yes.
You said, how is DC?
Oh yeah, okay.
You know, you have some good questions and I have some good answers. I can talk a lot, but the thing I like...
I didn't get that from, you know, before, but I love it. I love it. Go ahead.
You know what people don't get?
Right.
In general, if I'm in a place, let's say I'm out doing something, just eating something like that. I'm a pretty calm, laid-back person. Easy going, get along with everybody. I don't talk a lot in that sense. But you know, you have one thing that there's a misconception. People have to realize that musicians are probably the most talkative because we write a lot. And if we can make, you know, I told you I'm working on my ninth album, project. So if I can sit and make those many topics, I take one subject and write 3 verses, 4 verses, hooks about that. You know, that's over what? Over 60, 70 something songs. So if we sit and write, which is why I do a lot of film and a lot of, you know, I start off writing poetry. And that's just the stuff that has been recorded. So imagine the stuff that hasn't been recorded. That's why a lot of times you see musicians transition to film. Right. And I heard a statement about, you know, some actor made one time about a musician transitioning to film. I said, what better person would you have to transition to film than a musician? Because in their videos, they're already acting, and then they're already writing scripts, but it's only 3-minute scripts. You see what I mean? But to answer your question about DC's fashion, the thing I like about DC now, in general, it's a more diverse place. There in DC, there was a time that, you know, you could walk and I mean, not everywhere, obviously, but in certain neighborhoods, you would walk and have a certain attire on, and you would get judged by it. Oh, that's not in style. You shouldn't wear. Now there are.
Yeah, it's not a whole lot of rules now. It's like anything goes. You know, the colors with the guys and the, you know, the skinny jeans and the neon-ness. You're right. It's, I think more so in fashion ever. It's just like whatever goes.
It's whatever goes.
Okay.
And the thing is, I'm just gonna say one more. See, I was.
Okay, well, we're gonna bring it home.
We're gonna bring it home. See, and I was just never a guy that was really concerned.
Okay.
You know, you wear what you want.
Okay.
Feel comfortable.
Good.
That's how I always felt. Wear what you want. Where will you? If you wear the tackiest thing, feel confident in it.
Okay.
That's what I mean. Not the tackiest, but I mean the thing that's it's not color coordinated. You wear red and just
be comfortable
in it.
Right.
And that's why I think that a lot of these people feel like not a lot. I mean, some people people
will think that
or they will accept me.
Right.
You see what I mean?
Right.
But so I like the way that it is right now. Like it's changing. People are more open, and that's how a society's supposed to be. You're supposed to be, you know, don't judge this guy on this and this.
Okay.
But at the same time, I'll go back to my previous statement, which was to keep it clean.
Right.
Don't come out of the house just any type of way. You know,
there you go.
When I come out, I have to. This is all shade.
He's all. I think I.
No, but you're okay, man.
Okay, now where can we find you? Where can we find you, man? What's going on? What's new? What's coming up and all that?
You know, you hear a lot of artists say, "I'm working on this. I'm working on this."
Slide over a little bit before we get hit.
Before we get hit.
We are on the streets of DC, y'all, so we gotta, you know, bear the elements. But we may get hit by this truck. But anyway, they got a whole lot of room over there. What are you talking about? Well, anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can definitely find me on www.calico-online.com, which is the music site.
Okay.
Then, you know, I do design, but I'll keep that totally separate because that's what we talked about earlier.
Okay.
But I do a lot of stuff, a lot of graphic design and everything. And I'm working on a music website as well as the magazine.
Okay.
Which is GameUpOnline.com. So it's GameUp online.com. All of my sites are something online. So it's Calico online. Then the media site is the media online.
Right.
I'm not
Don't you looking at me because I get confused because you got like
the other one is Game Up Online. But
okay, all right.
Well, right now I'm just working on a whole bunch of things.
Yeah, he's got a lot of irons in the fire. This one does.
I'm working on a new album that I'm hoping to release. I reached out to some mainstream artists to see if I can get a few features on there.
Okay.
I just contacted 2 magazines to see if I can get some ads in there. The Hip Hop Weekly, which is on the stands, and you know, a lot of the stuff I do behind the scenes. I mean, just so much. Like I have my hands in so much.
Yeah, no.
But you know how it is, man. You send out 100,000 emails.
I don't know.
Oh, you know.
I keep my real simple, and I can't handle all that. But you know, you seem to manage it well. But make a little time for me. Look, that's all the time we have for Style Speaks. We're gonna have to have another part 2 with this gentleman right here and talk about all the other stuff going on. But until the next time, until we meet again, this is Calico. Check him out. He just gave you all the information. Ronald Bird from downtown Silver Spring with Style Speaks. Until we meet again next time. Peace.